technical difficulties. I'm live again, and this is part 2 of how allergies affect an asexual life. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's the matter with my iPad. It just kind of freezes out, and then I can't do anything but stop the video and start a new one. So I do apologise for that. I am back. I am Sandra Bellamy of Asexual Perspectives. That's my book. And founder of asexualise.com and founder of Asexualise Academy. Hello again, Andy. I'm really sorry about the technical problems on the last video. So I've decided to do a part 2 because I was in the middle of telling the story. Hey again, Martin. Thanks for coming back. So what was I saying? I was saying about when I, was allergic and the 4 things I'm allergic to. And I was going to tell you about a story when I went with my ex to Newquay. And before that, I was explaining that when you go away, when you're away with friends or, if you ever get a partner, then obviously allergies affect your life quite a lot, because if you're going to go out to dinner somewhere, you have to make sure it's somewhere that you can eat. And I've been to places where it's taken me like 1 to 2 hours when I'm out and about and away from my city, and it's a new place I haven't been to before, to actually, find somewhere to eat. So it can be a nightmare. And so food allergies are so difficult to live with, and I think not many people talk about them. It's kind of like some taboo topic. I mean, it's not really taboo in the sense of it happens to lots of people, but no one really talks about it very much in videos, I don't think. And this is really painful at the moment. It's really hurting up here. It's really like, itching. It's not as intense as it was earlier, but it's still really bad. And so I became, I went to Newquay with my ex a long time ago, and obviously it was a long time ago, so I haven't been with him since 2011, but it was before then, and we went to a place called Newquay in the UK, which is really lovely place to go. And it was fortunate there that the people in the hotel did cater to my special diet. But we went out and because I wasn't eating wheat, it's kind of like just when I'd found out I was allergic to wheat. And when we went out, I ate oats for breakfast, because I didn't realise I had a problem with oats. I ate these oats for breakfast, and the whole day I had severe abdominal pain. So I knew then that I got a problem to oats. I'm either intolerant or allergic to them. So I just say I'm intolerant, but I can't ever have them again. And literally I got back to the hotel. And when I got back to the hotel, that was it. I was knocked out of it for the rest of the night. My ex went out. My ex, who wasn't my ex at the time, obviously, he went out, got food and everything. The next day I saw him, he was telling me. And I don't remember any of it. It was like I was completely unconscious nearly, because all I remember is going on the bed, thinking I'm so poorly, and then waking up the next morning oblivious to anything that happened in those hours. So I never even heard him. I don't know what he did, where he went, and what he said. I said, what happened? Did you go out? He goes, yeah, I went out and got some food. And I don't even remember I don't even remember anything. It was like I was completely unconscious. It was really, really, really frightening experience. So ever since then, I've never ate oats in my life, because obviously I'm either allergic or intolerant. I would say allergic with such a bad reaction. Hi Heather, nice to see you. So if you've got food allergies, it does impact in relationships and friendships. So when I went to Disneyland Paris years ago, I went for my 21st Mindset birthday the year before last, but I also went with my cousin in 2014. My dad paid because my grandma, who was like a best friend to me, she died. And so my dad paid for me and my cousin to go to Disneyland Paris together. But it was really awkward because she found it very difficult with my food allergies. And I felt like I was, how can I put it? It was really awkward. Like, I've always got on well with my cousin when I was a kid, but we don't usually see each other. And then when we spent the time together, the rides and everything like that was good. Apart from we're like quite different people when we're eating, because she doesn't like to speak and I do, because to me, like, food is like a meal is like a sociable thing, do you know what I mean? And I just like talking anyway, it's part of my personality. But actually finding places to eat was really difficult. And I don't want to say anything bad about my cousin, but it was just got very, very awkward, because my cousin's a lovely person. I mean, when we came back to London, I went to Ministry of Sound, and she didn't, she said that I'll go for you because it's your birthday. Was it my birthday? No. Maybe that was around my birthday. No, it wasn't my birthday. It was October. No, it's like, because it was my holiday. That's why. Because I'd never been before, and it was because of my grandma dying, and it was in October because it was Halloween in Disneyland. But we came back to London, and we were going to Mistress Anne, but she's not really interested in clubbing, so she went with me, but just sat there and didn't do any dancing. I just went and did dancing on my own, which was a bit weird, but it's nice of her to go with me, even though she didn't want to do any dancing. She just sat and had a drink instead. But it was very awkward actually in Disneyland Paris, because I don't want to see anything horrible about my cousin because she's lovely, but I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but how can I put it? I don't know what to say, but basically it was so awkward because she wanted to do rides, and I can't do that when I need to eat food because I get low blood sugar anyway, so I need to eat every 2 hours, and it took like an hour and a half, I think, to find something to eat, and she wasn't very happy about it, put it that way. But it's not something I can help. Do you see what I mean? So that's how it can cause some. It shouldn't cause any conflicts because a person can't help what they are, and if they got allergies, they've got allergies. It's part of who they are. Do you know what I mean? They can't help it. But when you go with someone else, it's really difficult, obviously, because you've got to make sure you're both enjoying yourself. But it's really difficult when you got food allergies, because my food allergies are so many. I've got intolerances to dairy, to lactose, yeast I can't have any cheeses, I can't have grapes, I can't have bread, I can't have like tons of stuff. Do you know what I mean? To me, my food I eat is very simple. It's either chicken or fish, not seafood, chicken or fish, and potatoes and vegetables or salad. So to me it's really easy. But sadly, when you go to different places and eat out and about, they stick loads of sauces on things which I can't eat. They usually marinate a lot of they marinate a lot of chicken and stuff in dextrose, which is a sugar. So I can't have dextrose or glucose or sucrose. Do you know what I mean? Any of those things. So it becomes a nightmare. And I went to London in 2012 when the Olympics was on, but I went for a business seminar. And I went to the hotel that I was staying in, Staffordshire, I think it was. And that was like where the Olympics were like being held, I think, in that sort of area of London. And was it Staffordshire? I'm not very good with directions and geography, so if I got this completely wrong, I don't mind you telling me off in the comments, but I'm no good with geography and directions. Anyway, it was further outside London than I'd usually go, put it that way. And I had this train journey and this bus ride, and this bus went out. And when I got to the hotel, it was like a building site downstairs, and the room had the toilet handle falling off it, and a hole in the wall, I think it was as well. I'm like, oh. But anyway, this one particular time I came back from the usual place. I eat at a Thai restaurant in London. So although London is huge, London is so big in the UK, right? But there's only a couple of places I eat in London. One's a Thai restaurant because they cater to my special diet, and they know me there. I go every year when I'm up there, even though I don't live there. So it's quite funny. It has the same staff who remember me. And then I'll eat Nando's if there's a Nando's up there, because I am okay with Nando's. Nando's got a food allergy book as well. But I usually have the same meal over and over again. I don't change it because I can't really eat much. A variation of, because of all my allergies. And so, what was I talking about? I've forgotten my train of thought now. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten my train of thought. It's gone off. It's because I need to eat some food, actually. But it's hard trying to eat food at the moment when you've got hands like this because you don't know what to eat. It drives you insane. And so I was trying to say when I was in London, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. So this Thai restaurant that I go to regularly when I'm up there, I'll go to the, even if I'm at the Docklands, which is like really far away. It's on the, it's like down, like London main cities here, and like the Docklands are like on the map, right over nearly off the Richter scale of the map. And I would travel that far just to get the food there because I love it because it's different. But this one particular time when I was out in the sticks and it was the year of the Olympics, and they had a different chef on, and I told him about my allergies, but I was on the bus going back to the hotel, and then I started to feel like I was on I started to feel really dizzy, like my head was spinning. And then when I got in the hotel, I was going upstairs, I got in the room, and the whole room was like moving around. You know, like when you're on a ship. I don't usually go on a ship because I can't swim. But you know, like when you're seasick. What is it? No, when a ship's rocking backwards and forwards like that. The whole room was like spinning. It was such a really weird sensation. It was very scary. And like my friend at the time, she texted me and she was talking to me. I said, I'm going to have to go to sleep and hope it wears off in the morning, because I said the whole room's spinning. It was just like I was feeling dizzy on the bus, and like, you know, like my head's not with my body, because this is what sugar does to me. So as soon as I got back to hotel, emotion sickness. I think you mean motion sickness, not emotion sickness, Heather. But yeah, so basically, emotion sickness, that's funny. Motion sickness, I know what you mean. But yeah. I don't get motion sickness, right? But this is how I'm just trying to describe to you how it felt like. The whole room was spinning. It felt like when you're on a ship and it's choppy seas and it's going woo, 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 like this. Like a boat going woo. Anyway, it was just whoa. And so I just sat to say to my mum, I've got to go to sleep. I said, the whole room is spinning. And it was horrible. And I knew they must have put sugar in my food, because that's what their own, because I had neck sugar for years. And that was a worse reaction than I usually have with sugar, because usually I have my eyebrows hurt, I get stingy stomach, I feel sick sometimes, headaches. But this I'd never experienced with sugar before, but I hadn't ate it for years. I don't eat refined sugar. So I thought, oh my God, I'm more allergic to sugar than I've ever been. And I went back to the restaurant and I said the next night, and I said, he must have put sugar in there. And they looked into it, spoke to the chef, and yeah, he put sugar in he put curry paste in, which I never have, which is got sugar in it. And so, yeah, so that's how bad I get with sugar. You know, I get really poorly off it. So I just have to keep off all my food allergies. Incidentally, with my fibromyalgia, all my allergies work in my favour, because everything I'm allergic to makes the pain worse with fibromyalgia, and makes the symptoms worse. So it's better that I don't eat them anyway. Like wheat's really bad. It causes real bad pain. So I'm actually quite fortunate in that respect, that my food I eat is actually, you know, suitable for a fibro diet, even though I didn't know at the time, because I didn't have fibro. When was I diagnosed? Oh, I was diagnosed with fibro in 2012. Yeah. But, you know, I have had allergies to sugar and wheat before that. I was allergic to wheat before my diagnosis of fibro. So, yeah. So this is what I've got with my hands at the moment. And it's just really, really sore. And like I said, I usually get this with berries. So I don't know what it is I ate. Because yesterday I had melon, which I don't usually have. But I'm usually fine with a bit of melon. I had apricots, which I don't usually buy. I had a lot of lemon. Now, my mum's allergic to lemon, but I'm not, as a general rule. But I did have this apple and pear juice together. But apple and pear juice shouldn't cause me problems. But the thing is, it's like with orange juice, sometimes I can be okay with it. And other times it brings out red rashes all over my body, and I can't have it for a while. And I think I have got a definite problem, because but I thought it was with orange juice. So I stopped having orange juice for a time, and I've started having I had the apple juice, but it has apple and pear combination. But it shouldn't cause me a problem, because I eat apple and pear crushed bars every day usually. So it shouldn't cause me a problem. But when I was over my mum's this year for Christmas, towards the end of it, I started getting rashes on my arms. And then you have to kind of work out what it is. So I think with my low blood pressure as well, I worked out that bananas, I didn't know, but bananas lower blood pressure naturally. So if you have got a problem with high blood pressure and you don't want to be taking tablets, try eating bananas, because I've had low blood sugar. Like my blood sugar's always been on the low side, and I used to get really dizzy and low blood sugar. I get low blood sugar and I get low blood pressure, but I didn't realise that bananas lower blood pressure naturally, which is great if you have high blood pressure, but I'm prone to low blood pressure, so it's no good. So at the moment, I've stopped eating banana bars. So as a general rule, I didn't used to eat bananas very often, because they're really high in natural sugar, but I can't eat, sometimes I just can't eat stuff that's so high in natural sugar, because that makes me ill as well. But I can eat it for a little time only. And I started having this craving for bananas, so I started eating them, but I was getting really low blood pressure, and I didn't know if it was because I was ill with a virus, but I thought it might be the bananas when I googled online that bananas lower blood pressure. So I stopped eating banana bars as well, which gave me quite a lot of energy, so we're good for that. But, you know, and since I've stopped eating bananas and not banana bars, I seem to have not had so much of a problem with low blood pressure. I still get low blood sugar because I need to eat. So yeah, but my blood pressure hasn't been so bad, so I don't know if it is bananas. But the thing is, with allergies, you just have to try and, you know, test it. But it can be very difficult when you're going to asexual meetups, because some meetups, you know, they go all over the place for you know, for food and drink. And the problem is if you can't have that food or drink, or you don't know, it means you've got to like phone up yourself beforehand or try and find it out. You can't just say, yeah, I'll go to a meetup, because if it's to do with food and drink, you have to be able to you know, have a good organizer that will really find out all this stuff for you and help you, or you can't really go to it. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you have low blood sugar, where you have to eat, because you can't go to a meetup and not eat if the meetup's for quite a few hours. So it does become an issue. And, you know, if you decide, you know, you want to go away with friends as well. I mean, my best female friend, she's usually really good with my food. She understands that I've got to go and eat. And, you know, she will make sure we eat. Or, I mean, I make sure I eat before I go and meet her. Or I'll take loads of snacks with me usually anyway when I'm out. And then you know, she makes sure I've got something to eat, or, you know, that we're going to get something to eat if we're together. So, I mean, I did have one friend years ago, and I just wasn't friends with her anymore because she wasn't particularly nice. I bought her gifts and then she wanted to give them back to me and wanted to clear out her stuff, and she wasn't very nice because I was really ill with low blood sugar. My aunt can't eat MSG. Yeah, it's really bad when I sodium glutamate. It's lots of takeaways. Chinese takeaway. I can barely eat Chinese takeaway. There's only a certain place I can eat it. My parents live in Dawlish, and there's one Chinese I can eat it from in there. And they were going to get another takeaway in my city in Exeter, but I don't think that's happened yet. But yeah, they do it without MSG. It's really good, but a lot of the places in Exeter won't. The last meetup we went to a Chinese restaurant in my city, and that's allergen free. They cater for allergens as well. See, that's why it's better for me to also organise meetups as well in my city, because then I know that I can eat the food, and I know that I can cater to other people's special needs and diets. You know, because I can, you know, talk to I won't go anywhere which won't cater for allergies in the first place. I won't go out anywhere which won't cater for everyone in terms of food, you know. I'll make sure there's places that everywhere we go we can have a vegetarian option, because one of my friends who comes every single time, he's vegetarian. If there's no vegetarian dish there, we can't eat there. Simple as. You know, but not every organiser's like me. Some people, you know, they don't see that as a priority. You know, if I said it to them, you know, well, like I said, the reaction I got from Bristol years ago was really bad. So I haven't gone to a Bristol meetup. I just think it's not, you know, particularly worth it. You know, it's just not worth the hassle of me, you know, not being able to get something to eat. Because to me, I can't relax and talk properly if I'm worried about food. It's kind of like when you've got food allergies, your life does revolve somewhat around food, but it doesn't have to be like that. But it's like when you're out with friends or with other people, that's when it's drawn to your attention. When you're on your own, it's not so bad because you cater for yourself. You know yourself really well. So it's like when you've got anxiety, if you like, because I do still have some anxiety, the way I live my lifestyle, I know I can actually cater for my anxiety and reduce it. Like, for example, I can get a lot of toilet rolls in, so I don't have to be worried about it, because I'm not as bad as I used to be, but I used to really freak out if I got like 3 toilet rolls left. I used to like, luckily I've got a supermarket where I live across the road, so it's good I live here on my own, because it's brilliant, you know, and they're open till 10 o'clock at night, and I often go in there between 9 and 10 at night. So, but you know, it's just, you know, I used to freak out, and I don't like living with someone. You know, I prefer to live on my own because I can chill out more, because I can look after myself. I actually think if you've got special needs or food allergies or disability or that type of thing, I actually feel it's a lot easier sometimes when you live on your own, because you can take care of yourself. You don't have anyone else to worry about when you go on holiday with someone or out to places. But it is going to affect you, because, you know, if you go out with friends or you end up with a partner, then, you know, you're going to have to work with them, you know, because even if you don't live together, you're probably going to go on holiday together sometimes. You're probably going to go out for meals out and stuff. So you're still going to have to cater for each other and help each other out. But as long as you get someone understanding, it's going to be fine. But it's like this. I didn't expect this, you know. This is just all of a sudden come up. And it's just, I mean, it gets worse than that. It was worse than that earlier. But when I just had a little bit of apple and pear juice again, it came up, like really started itching really bad. So I think that might be the culprit. But then it seems to be whenever I'm eating some food at the moment, it seems to be like my tummy's not been good either. So I don't know if it must be to do with food, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, I went out with my friend Friday night and out. But you know, it's now Sunday. So, well, it's after Sunday now because I started this live stream later. But that was on Friday I had food. Now, if it had been a food I had when I'm out, which I had the same thing I always have, then I would have come up probably yesterday before I went out to do my food shopping. But having said that, sometimes I get a delayed reaction as well. So for example, if I eat strawberries, like I can actually get away with eating some strawberries once a year. When my dad does blacksmithing, and there's a show every year called Devon County Show, and they do have strawberries there, and they have like little punnets, and it's really weird though because I can't have dairy, but with the exception, like when I went over to my parents this year for Christmas, I could have great cream, like double cream, from their supermarket with like sugar-free jellies, and it didn't affect my tummy whatsoever, which is bizarre, seeing as I can't usually have dairy. Like if I have butter, I mean my stomach starts going crazy. It's not good with butter. I have to have soya milk all the time as well. But like this, my other ex-friend years ago, she was really horrible because I needed food. And she was just faffing around in her place, giving my gifts back to me that I'd bought her, because she was having a clear out, and trying to give me other stuff she didn't want. And then we were like 1.5, 2 hours later, going out for food. And it's like, well, you know that I have low blood sugar, and I needed to go out. But she was so busy saying, oh, I want to do this, that and the other in my home first, and just like messing around. And I was just like, you know, and I was just so upset. And she wasn't speaking to me nicely because I was moving my leg when I was, because when you get anxious sometimes, you know, you move your leg a bit, don't you? And so I was moving my leg when I was in the place eating. I mean, I was eating really light anyway. I was moving my leg at the time, and she was having a go at me for moving my leg. And I'm like, well, it's just the way I naturally am, because I used to be like that a lot. I mean, actually, with fibro, you can get something called it's like a type of thing where your legs just decide to like move, if you know what I mean. I don't know, but it's also to do with anxiety. You can get it anyway. But I just like, because I'm quite a hyper person, I do that anyway sometimes. Like when I'm at the computer, I just don't even notice I'm doing it. She was having a go at me, and after that, I just thought I'm not going to be this person's friend anymore. And that was the last time I was friends with her. And I used to be good friends with her. And she's tried to contact me since. I'm not interested, you know. I don't want to be around people like that. And I think that's good when you get more friends, you know, good quality friends who really care about you. Because you know the people who really care about you and matter are going to help you as best they can. They're going to try to cater for your diet. They're going to, you know, when you're out together, they're going to talk to you about it and discuss it, you know. I mean, because I hold the asexual meetups in my city, I can organise my own self places to eat, you know. We can all eat in the same place anyway, usually. One of the pubs in my city, it's like a family pub, or there's a chain of them, and I can eat at all of those. So it's never really usually an issue. But, you know, if I'm going out to asexual meetups, for example, at other places, then it would, like, impact me quite a lot. Because, you know, unless the person who's organising it can help me out with where they're going, you know, it's just pretty much impossible for me to be comfortable. Because I need to sort that out, you know. So, yeah, I just thought I'd talk about allergies, because I don't think it's very widely discussed. And I know there's some other asexuals that have allergies, and it's kind of hard for them as well. So, yeah, if you're an allergy sufferer person out there, I completely understand you. And all I can say is if you do go to an asexual meetup, you know, just try and talk to the organiser. If you get a nice one who's understanding, they should be able to tell you about the venue. You should be able to phone up beforehand, find out if they can cater for you. If you get low blood sugar like I do, find out when they are going to eat food, if they're going to eat food straight away or later. If it's later, make sure you take snacks and, you know, you might have to go off and eat yourself. You know, you just have to put yourself first sometimes. Thanks for the thumbs up. It's really nice. Any more thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, because it's really nice when I do this channel and I get thumbs up. It makes me feel good. And so, you know, this is all I can say is, you know, like, make sure you talk to the organizer before, if you're going to an asexual meetup beforehand, and see if they cater for your diet. You know, if you're vegetarian, vegan, got food allergies, you know, and if you're going out with someone, a friend, or you know, or even a partner you meet in the future, you know, hopefully you would have discussed all this. And you know, you need to get someone who's understanding. If the person's not going to be understanding with you and they're going to be horrible to you, then they're not the right person for you. You know, food allergies do impact lives, and they do impact relationships. And you know, it's not really talked about, is it? When you go into asexual dating, you know, or any type of dating, they don't really discuss, oh, well, I've got food allergies, and how that can impact your actual relationship. But believe me, it can. I mean, if you live together, which I don't want to, but if you do, you know, then that person's got to make sure they get the right foods for you that's not going to set your allergies off. But, you know, sometimes things, like I said, I've got allergies now on my food. I don't actually know what these are. So, you know, that could happen to anyone, and it just drives you crazy, because I don't know what they are. But, you know, if you've got a partner, you're going to have to discuss with them. Hopefully they'll be good at catering to your special dietary needs, you know, and I mean, my ex was quite good like that, because he had some allergies anyway, or either that, we just used to say he did, though he could have the same foods as me, I don't know. But either way, it worked out quite well doing that, because we used to eat very similar foods sometimes, so it never was that much of an issue with him. That was one good thing, I suppose. I don't really like talking about him, but yeah, so because he wasn't a very nice person, but yeah, so, you know, I just make sure you talk beforehand. But I think when you're on asexual dating sites, you know, if you do like meet someone and you become really close to them, I think hopefully you will gain a good friendship, and they will know about your allergies so that you can accommodate each other, you know. And I would say I'm lucky that I don't have any food allergies. Oh, good for you, Heather. It's really good. Because, you know, I was trying to tell you as well, when I was at the Devon County, go to the Devon County show once a year, I do have some strawberries there. But what I didn't tell you, I might have mentioned it on a previous video, I don't know. So when I say I have some strawberries, they're like little punnets. And I can actually have clotted cream, which is a really another weird thing, because I've got an intolerance to dairy. But I say it's an intolerance, not an allergy. So, but with berries, usually I do have an allergy. So basically, usually it comes up like this with berries. But I haven't had berries, so I know it's not that. And anyway, this particular time, though, I had too many strawberries at Devon County show, so now I keep to smaller punnets, like little ones. But in that day I had more, and this particular time I went to work, and my allergies, like I said, sometimes can come out another time. So I went to the Devon County show, then I went the next day to work. I was fine then, and then in that night my bottom lip swelled up like Nutty Professor. However, I respect people that do have food allergies. Thank you, Heather. So my lip, you see this lip? I don't know if I've still got the picture, actually. It literally swelled up like Nutty Professor. And so therefore, and when I used to eat strawberries before, it came up like this, and it came up on my wrists. But that particular time, because I'd ate too many of them, and I'm really not supposed to eat them anyway, that's when my lip swelled. But it didn't come out on the day that I ate the strawberries. It didn't even come out the next day. It came out the next night, which was crazy. And it was and I was like praying that it was going to go down before work the next day, which it did do, but it was really, really bizarre. And this, I did take a picture of it, and it was all like, this was like double the size, this part here. Is really, really weird. So, you know, it can impact you a lot if you've got food allergies. It really can impact your friendships, relationships, and your life in general. I mean, when you're on your own, you try and keep it to a minimum, but like I said, you can't always help it. And sometimes it is hard when you're on your own, if you've got things going on like this, because say you know, like this is quite painful at the moment. It's kind of nice if you got someone here, like say, you know, I've got to do something and it requires my hands, then it's a bit of a nightmare. But I have been working on the computer today and doing lots of video editing. So even though I've had these bad hands, because they've not been intensely itching me like they were like last night and this morning, because I had to lie in bed till the afternoon, then because I didn't get to sleep till late, and then it wasn't so bad. So although they're painful and they're a bit itchy, I have been able to do something. But I mean, the more I talk about it, the more I'm thinking about it, the more itchy they get, so I better stop. Anyway, I just want to tell you that anyway, and I think it's something that's not talked about, so I think it's been good to address the issue, and I felt like I'm going to have a hard time doing this video without talking about it, because at the moment they're quite burning and itching, and do you know what I mean? Sometimes I might need to go like this or something. So anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you for now. Thank you so much, very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, especially as this is the second part, because the first video stopped working part way through. I know I don't have any medication, Heather. You're welcome, Martin. Just to answer Heather's question, or answer Heather's comment about I know medication can do that, I am not on any medication. The only medication I have been on recently, actually, is the steroid eardrops. So, yeah, but I've actually, because my ears have been itching. My ears have been itching, which I don't usually get, which I got over Christmas. And I've got these steroid eardrops for my ears. Actually, I did take one of these drops last night. One. Because my ears were itching. But I wouldn't have thought it was that. But it is a good point, because I don't take medications regularly. I mean, this is because I had my virus. This was given to me on New Year by the doctor. I was supposed to take it 7 days. I was supposed to take it for 7 days. But I could only take it for 5 because my nostrils started bleeding with it, if you want to know. I don't want to get too personal. So I could only take it for 5. But if I have just one eardrop, it's usually fine. But if I have, it says inside 2 or 3 at a time. And you're supposed to have it 2 or 3 times a day. But if I just have once, as a one-off. But the doctor told me to take it whole for 7 days. And then once 3 times a week thereafter. You know, and then 3 times a week thereafter for a maintenance dose until my ears. But if my ears feel better, then don't take it. But because of the blood that was coming out my nose, I decided to stop it and only take it if I have to. So I did take a drop of this last night. But I don't think that's what's caused it, because I wasn't getting, but I was. You've made me think now, Heather. I did take one, but that's because my ears were actually itching. But I can't remember. I think I had this before. Yeah, I think I had this before, though. I think this is a food allergy, because it comes up with food usually. Doesn't, and I haven't had these today either. I haven't had any of these today. So, and I didn't have any reaction on my hands to this. I think it's food. I really do, because I know I get these usually from food. So I don't think it's to do with them. Yeah, I don't think it's to do with them. I haven't had any other stuff. I did take 1 drop last night though. But yeah, I don't think it's to do with them. But I was itching over my parents as well. With my arm. But yeah, anyway, thanks very much for the info, Heather. Anyway, something to bear in mind. Take care and lots of love. And I will see you on the next video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't already subscribed and you're watching now, please hit the great big subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to hit the bell icons to get notified every time I go live like now or post a new video. Good night, Heather. Good night, Andy.